Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Naisha if you're new here, and in today's video we're going to be doing a full face of Walmart makeup. Yes. So again, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Naisha, I'm a mom of two. I am obsessed with Walmart, Target. I'm literally in either one of those stores at least once, maybe twice a week. There's a Walmart right around the corner from me. I'm always there. I have to go a little bit further for Target, but you know, Target is a adventure all on its own. When I need my alone time, I tell my husband I'm going to Target. He knows he's not going to see me for at least 2 hours, and I could saunter around and enjoy myself. Walmart is where we get all our basics, all the good stuff, and a full face of makeup. So if you follow me on Instagram, you would see that I posted a shop with me at Walmart. So what I did is I walked in, walked the aisles, walked the makeup aisles, and I picked out all my favorites, all my suggestions for a full face of makeup at Walmart. So I know there are a lot of people, especially women around my age, moms, people on the go, that you know, you're new to makeup or you never really paid attention to it. You don't know what to get. You don't know what to buy online. You guys see I still struggle with finding my shade online. There's so many different products, so many different brands. What's gonna work for me, what's not gonna work for me. So I figured this will be extremely helpful, where we walk into Walmart, we see what's available at Walmart. I tell you what I suggest, what I think is gonna work. If you're like me and you have oily combination skin, a lot of what I've suggested will work for any type of skin. But if there's something you need, something you wanna try, it's so easily accessible. Most people have Walmart close to them or accessible. So you can just walk into a Walmart, go straight to the beauty aisle, and get these products nice and easy. You need something last minute, and they're all affordable, so you don't have to worry about breaking the bank. Plus, Walmart is really good about returning anything, even makeup, even if it's been used. So if I didn't tell you that this was a full face of Walmart makeup, you wouldn't even know. Like I said, I already posted the full walkthrough on my Instagram. I'll link that down below if you want to check that out before you watch this video. But if you're interested in seeing all the products that I used to give you this full flawless face of Walmart makeup, nice and affordable, please keep on watching. Okay, so as usual, I'm going to start with my brows. I'm going to outline it with the Revlon Color Stay Brow Pencil in 220 Dark Brown. If you saw my 10-minute face on Instagram, this is the eyebrow pencil that I used. Normally when I'm doing my 10-minute face, I use it to fill in my brows. But today, since we have a brow gel, I'm just going to use it to outline. It's not the best for outlining because the tip is actually pretty large, but it's okay. I mentioned it before, but what I really love about this pencil, I wish it was thinner, or had a thinner tip so it could be a little bit more precise. But the reason why I use it for my 10-minute face is because it is so pigmented and it really sticks onto my skin, because I have major bald spots, especially like right here, just based on the shape that I like to give my eyebrows. So this really sticks to the skin and grabs onto the hairs, and it almost feels like there's already stay put gel in it, so it's really sort of like a one and done type product. Oh, just let you guys know, I do have a bunch of my e.l.f. brushes, Profusion brushes, and if need be, I'll fill it in with some of the Sonia Kashuk brushes. But for the most part, all of these e.l.f. Profusion brushes, you can get them at Walmart as well. So for the eyebrow, I'm going to use this e.l.f. 203 brush. It's from that clear handle collection that I talked about. One of my favorites, really good quality brushes. And I'm going to be using the Milani Stay Put Brow Color in Dark Chocolate. Okay, so I went ahead and cleaned up under my brows, and then I'm going to go in with the Milani eyeshadow primer. This primer doesn't have a lot of color to it, but I do find when I use this, it really does help the shadows show up more, doesn't crease, last longer, and it's very, very affordable. It's probably $4 or $5. It reminds me of my favorite Urban Decay primer, Potion. For eyeshadows, if you see the shop with me and you guess that I would have chosen the mauves, then you are correct. I love pinky, purpley, mauve eyeshadows. Where I come from, we say mauve. I only started saying mauves when I moved to this country. So how do you guys say, mauve or mauve? Let me know. So this is the mauve 10 shade palette from Profusion. Really, you know, this is my jam right here. Really beautiful mauvey colors. My experience with Profusion, like, you have to work with it. It's not like, you know, the best in the world. It's a $5 palette. It's better than $5 quality, but it's a $5 palette, so you really shouldn't expect that much. Their shimmers are absolutely beautiful though. This color Persona is a little bit shifty, like pinky with a gold reflect. Super beautiful. So I'm just gonna do a nice simple look. Not gonna go too crazy. To help it show up the best, I'm gonna go in with the darkest color first. I'm gonna be using this e.l.f. eye contour brush. Then I'm gonna go into Explore and blend that out. Next, on an e.l.f. fluffy eye blender brush, I'm gonna go into Lovely and blend everything out. On the lid, I'm gonna go in with this Persona color that I've been eyeing. And it's a really pretty rose goldy color. Then I'm going to take a brush and go into Femme. This is the Profusion flat shader eyeshadow. I'm going to pick up some of that and spray it. And we're going to put that towards the front of the eye, right here. So now we're gonna go in with liner. This is the Physician Formula Eye Booster 2-in-1 Lash Boosting Eyeliner and Serum in Ultra Black. Absolute favorite drugstore liner. It has a brush tip, not a felt tip. I prefer a brush tip. And it is very reminiscent of the, to me it's like a dupe of the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner, which is my favorite high-end eyeliner, hands down. And Ultra Black is the one to get if you want it to be black, because the black looks gray for some reason. So Ultra Black if you want to be super black. So we're gonna do a little wing. What I really like about this eyeliner is the fact that it has a brush tip and it's very, very smooth, that it just really just glides along the eyelid. There's no pulling, there's no tugging, there's no skipping, and that's what I like for my eyes. Obviously I have older eyes, I have loose skin, so you know, we don't want any pulling and tugging, and we don't want any skipping either. And it's a beautiful matte black liner. It just speaks for itself, and it's supposed to have a lash boosting serum in it. I guess that's supposed to help your eyelashes grow, which I need. For mascara, so normally this is waterproof. So mascara, this is my favorite is the L'Oreal Lash Paradise, and I just realized that I picked up the waterproof one. I absolutely hate the waterproof one. Hate it. Hate it. When this goes on your lashes, it's on there, and it takes a village to get it off, and my poor little tiny little lashes can't take it. So I won't be using this today, but in another video when I replace it, I'll show you guys without falsies or anything how beautiful this mascara is. It is a dupe to the Too Faced Better Than Sex, and I actually like this better than the Better Than Sex. For lashes, we're going to go in with the Kiss Lash Couture Naked Drama in Chiffon. You can see these are long, fluffy, they are dramatic. And this particular style, chiffon, is one of my favorites. And for glue, I'm going to use the Duo Quick Set Lash Glue. This is the black version, comes in black and clear. And I love that it sets in 60 seconds, so you're not sitting around waiting for your glue to dry, because the key to putting on lashes is to make sure that your glue is dry, almost dry, and tacky, so it actually sticks to your eyelashes. A lot of people, when they're putting on lashes, that's their problem, is that they put the glue on, they don't wait for it to get drier and tacky, and then they just try to put it on. The lashes don't stick, they get frustrated, their eyes are watering, and then at that point the glue will never dry down. So what I like about this one, and I think it should be pretty good for beginners, is that it gets tacky enough in 60 seconds, and it is good for when you're almost out the door. So I put the glue along the band. The band is a little bit thick, but we have a liner today, so it'll work. What I noticed about drugstore products too, because everything here I have is drugstore from Walmart, nothing has a mirror. The palette doesn't have a mirror, nothing has a mirror. The only thing that has a mirror is a powder, and that's the mirror that I'm using, because as you can see I'm in a different setup today. But yeah, no mirrors. Mirrors cost money. Now I'm going to put my lashes on. And boom, the lashes are on. I'm going to do an in-depth lash application video really soon. But the reason why you want the glue to set or be almost set, so when you put it down, when you initially put it down, now you're pulling the other sides, the lash isn't like slipping and sliding all over your eye. It stays pretty much in place. And as you can see with these lashes, it has like the wispy pieces, so you can still see your eyeshadow behind it, but it is very dramatic and nice and long. Okay, there we have both lashes on. I also like to give it another 60 seconds or so, keep doing my makeup, and then I always go back and press it together with my own lashes to make sure it's really on there. Now I'm going to move on to primer. So typically I use 2 primers. Seems excessive, but it works for me. So I'm going to go in with the Hard Candy Hydrating Primer, 12-Hour Makeup Grip Primer. This is pretty much a dupe for the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer. And I put this all over my face. It plumps, it moisturizes, and really grabs onto the makeup. And then in my T-zone, I go in with the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. This is the regular one, and this is a Tatcha dupe. So this is to help fill in the pores, and also it doesn't really mattify, but it helps to kind of keep the oil at bay, if you will, in my T-zone. So I always do the Hard Candy first. I do about this much. The one I really like the most is the e.l.f. Watermelon Primer, but they don't have that at Walmart, and we're doing a full face of Walmart, so my second favorite is this Hard Candy one. And then you can see there's a dip in it, and then with the e.l.f. I just go right in here. Okay, for foundation, we're gonna go with the Maybelline Dream Radiant Liquid. I have the color 120 Caramel. If you saw my Get Ready With Me for date night on my IGTV, this is what I used. How about that much? That's probably too much as usual. You know, I overdo it. And my favorite e.l.f. Total Face Sponge, Flawless Face Sponge. I can't remember the name, I'll put it on the screen. I'm going to use the flat side to put that on. As you can see, this is actually a perfect match for me. We all know I'm horrible at picking my color, but I did a good job at this one. What I love about this foundation is it is quote-unquote radiant, but it's not dewy. When you see radiant, you get worried and think that it's going to be dewy, especially if you have oily skin like me. But where this means radiant is basically skin-like. It's not overly like dewy or shiny. It really just gives a skin-like finish. See, look at that. Nice medium coverage. Kind of covered up my acne scars. Really just evens out my skin nicely. Okay, so here you can see the foundation all blended out, nice medium coverage. Just really just looks like I have nice, beautiful, radiant skin, which is what I like in my foundation. Again, as you get older, you realize this is how you want to look and not cakey and dry. And again, it has hyaluronic acid in it, so it helps to plump up the skin, helps with wrinkles and fine lines. We like it. For my contour stick, I'm going to go in with this Milani Conceal and Perfect Foundation Stick in Cacao. This is actually the darkest one that they have, but it's a foundation stick. It's not really a contour stick. I didn't really talk about contour sticks because it's not something that I can really tell like, oh, this is my favorite contour stick. I really just use a darker foundation stick, especially if it's a foundation formula that I'm not the fondest of, because I don't really go heavy with my cream contour, and I really didn't like this as a foundation stick, but it does really well as a cream contour. But before I go in with the cream contour, I'm going to highlight with the CoverGirl True Blend Undercover. This is in the color T700 Caramel. Has a nice fat doe foot. This one is definitely a Tarte Shape Tape dupe, but it's not as drying. Has a little bit more hydration to it, just a little bit. But I love my Shape Tape, so this does dry down quickly, but I'm gonna go in with the contour stick and blend that out. Gonna use another e.l.f. brush from that Crystal collection. This is the 103 brush. And then back with the Total Face Sponge to blend out the concealer. See, it has a beautiful coverage. It's not too drying and matte as Shape Tape can be sometimes. And it also has this sort of skin-like luminous finish to it, even though it dries all the way down. Okay, so this is everything blended out. This is the skin that we have so far. And again, I keep telling you, I film with the front-facing iPhone, and that will clock you, and you can see how smooth and flawless my skin looks and radiant with that foundation. And even look at my under eyes. Look at how nice and radiant, but it's covering the dark circles. Next, we're going to go on to setting powder, my favorite setting powder, the CoverGirl True Blend Minerals. This one is in 200 light. I normally use 300 medium, but this is the one I have right now, my medium finished. So what I like about this is that it's a quote-unquote matte powder, but it has, I guess, like pearls or reflecting light pearls in it that gives it more of a luminous finish, a natural skin-like luminous finish. So it's able to set your makeup, but it doesn't look dry and cakey. It's nice and finely milled. It sets right into the skin. I also like to set around my mouth because that's where things shift early. Probably because I talk too much. And I don't bake. I don't bake. This is not like a baking powder already. I'm really just setting the oily areas and my under eyes. So I'm going to take this Sonia Kashuk brush and just dust away the excess powder. I'm not just like wildly dusting. What I'm doing is more of a press and shift motion. Next, we're going to go with my favorite press powder, the L'Oreal True Match press powder. This is in W8. W8, as you can see. I've been using this for 10 years. This is, I've lost count with how many of these I've used. I hit pan all the time. This is my baby. And then I'm going to go in with my favorite powder brush. I use this every day. I just kind of spot cleaned it so I could use it again today. Is the e.l.f. from the Crystal collection. This is a 101 brush. So I'm just going to use that and dust this all over my face. Okay, so here is where we are. I look nice and mattified, smooth. Now we're going to go with bronzer. This is the e.l.f. Primer Infused Bronzer in Constantly Bronzed. I'm going to use another Sonia Kashuk brush. This is very pigmented. You got to go light-handed. The primer infused blushes are really nice too, and they're really pigmented. For highlight, and this is almost embarrassing to show you guys because it looks so tragic, I have the Maybelline Master Chrome in Molten Rose Gold. Beautiful rose goldy color. Because yeah, I have a nice little dip in it. Love this. I'm gonna go with another Sonia Kashuk brush. This one doesn't have a name. Look at that. It's beautiful. These are really nice, soft, blinding highlights. Looks like I'm overdoing it, which I am, but that's why I go with my blush after the highlight. For blush, I'm gonna go with my Milani Baked Powder Blush in Rose de Oro. This one also has a kind of rosy rose gold feel to it. See, it's like a rosy, has like some gold reflex going through it. The top of mine broke, it's here somewhere. Gonna use another Sonia Kashuk brush. Get into that blush. If you don't like highlight, since these are luminous, it could be, you can just put this on and not have to worry about highlight. As you can see, I always go over my highlight to tone it down a little bit. And I do like a lot of blush. Now before I put all these powders on my face, I go back in with this clean brush and just dust over my entire face, getting rid of any excess, anywhere where I put too much product, blending the three powders that we just put on together. Make sure everything is seamless. So see the difference that makes? And now to set, we're going with my absolute favorite setting powder, the Milani Make It Last. I got the Big Daddy version. This helps your makeup to last for 16 hours. It gives you a skin-like finish. There's a matte version. There's a charcoal version, matte charcoal version. I'm not a fan. The dewy version, I'm not really into dewy like that. The SPF 30 smells like death. I don't like it. This is the best one. Okay, so I'm going to grab another Profusion brush. This one is the Small Firm eyeshadow. It's stained from some pink shadow. I'm going to go back into this Monsoon color on the lower lash line. And then for the inner corner and brow bone, I'm going to go in with Opal on another e.l.f. This one is the 202 brush. Okay, and for lips, we're gonna do two options. So I spoke about the Milani lip liners in my shop with me video, but I couldn't find mine. So I'm gonna go with the Maybelline Color Sensational Shaping Lip Liner in Rich Chocolate. This is one of my absolute favorites. This is literally just like the Milani one. It's a roll up. It's a nice, beautiful chocolate brown. Very pigmented, soft. It's a nice sort of everyday brown for me. So the lip option I want to show you first is the L'Oreal Color Riche Lip Shine in Glossy Fawn. So like I said before, this is basically a lip gloss in a stick. So it's a lipstick and it's very shiny. So it has a little bit of pigment in it, and it makes it super easy to just put it on. So you put on your lip liner and you just throw this on, and it gives you a nice glossy finish. So it's almost like if you put on a lipstick and then a gloss over it, which is what I do all the time. But this makes it so easy. It's obviously not long lasting because it's a gloss. So it's a nice just throw on and go type of look. That's lip option number one. So this one's a much more longer lasting option. And this is the Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink. And this one is in Caramel Collector. So they had a sort of coffee nude collection and there were 5 or 6 of them, and this one is smack dab in the middle. This is my kind of tones right here. So with these, they are very polarizing. You either love them or you hate them. I love them because it really does stay on for a very long time. If you're going out to dinner or whatever, you can put this on and you can be sure it's not going anywhere. But then it's really hard to get off because it's not going anywhere. So I use like a cleansing oil or something to get it off, or you know, a little bit of a scrub. It can be difficult, but honestly I haven't had like the biggest problem. Like I haven't had a problem taking it off to the point where I'm like, oh my god, I'm never wearing this again. I absolutely love them. They stay. They have beautiful colors. This doesn't really go that much with the eye look, but we're going with it. And the other complaint I've heard is that it takes a minute to dry down. A lot of people think that it's sticky. It's not that it's sticky, it's that it takes a long time to dry down. So while it's drying down, like right now it's starting to feel sticky, but if I were to leave this for another 5-10 minutes and it dries all the way down, like then that's it. There will be no stickiness to it and it would be completely dry and it would completely go nowhere. But for today's purposes, over top I'm going to go over with the Maybelline Lifter Gloss. This also has hyaluronic acid in it, so it's meant to help plump the lips, which is good if you're like me and over 40 and you might have these little wrinkles in your lips. Mine aren't very noticeable, but it's always, plumping is always good. There's never a bad thing in plumping, is there? This is another internet breaking item in that everybody swears that it looks just like, or it's just like the Fenty Gloss Bombs, my absolute favorite lip glosses. And this one is kind of giving me like the, what's the pink one? Fussy? It's kind of giving me fussy vibes. A little bit more sparkly, but it's giving me fussy vibes. So we're just going to put that right over top. And that kind of helps it to match a little bit with the eyes more. And it gives you the tiniest little bit of tinglies, but it's not, you know, uncomfortable in any way because it is plumping a little bit. But you see, it's a beautiful shine. It is very comparable to the Fenty. I mean, a gloss doesn't have a lot of color variation, but it is beautifully shiny. Look at that. Yes, absolutely love these. Okay guys, so here is our completed look. Full face of Walmart makeup. So let me know down in the comments, what do you think? What do you think about the products that I chose as my favorites? Is there anything that's your favorite that you like? Anything that you see that you're definitely going to try? Let me know down in the comments. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.